it's Alex. I am here today with a little library haul. I've gone to the library a couple times in the last few weeks and have probably a stack that's too big. So I figured I'd just show you what I got. Yeah, there's a bit of a mix. We've got some graphic novels, some manga, some random books I saw while I was there, and some things I put on hold. So just get into it. Okay, first one is I have the Scum Villains Self-Saving System Volume 4. I've been eating this series up. I'm obsessed with it. I love everything about it. And this is the last book, which I'm kind of sad that it's over, but I really want to know what happens. And it's pretty thick, so I'm excited to see where it goes. Yeah. If you don't know, it's basically a story about this guy who gets transmigrated into this like stallion novel that he was reading, and he becomes one of the villains and has to survive and figure out what to do. And it's like a parody on the stallion novel, a parody of BL's. It's just really great. I highly recommend it if you read Danmai, even if you don't and you like fantasy and kind of parody jokey books. You should check it out. Okay, next I have the manga for Restart After Coming Back Home, which I actually watched the film. I watched the movie of this, and I really loved it. It was really like that warm, small, rural town vibe, and like figuring out your life and reconciling with your family and dealing with issues and kind of figuring out what you want to do with yourself. Basically, it's about this 25-year-old guy who's fired from his job and he returns home, essentially a disgrace, and he kind of doesn't have any prospects, doesn't know what he's going to do, like, isn't really sure where he wants his life to go. And he kind of ends up working at this little, not really working, but helping this guy who runs or helps to run a farm in this small rural town. Yeah, it was really good. Like, the movie was really great, so I'm excited to see what the book is like. Okay, next up is kind of almost seasonally appropriate, but not quite, which is The Nightmare Before Christmas by Sarah Rosh. I mean, I didn't really need to know much about this book other than it's queer and it's Halloween meets Christmas. And if you know anything about me, you know that I love Halloween. It's like my favorite holiday. I love Halloween movies. I love Halloween decorations. I love everything Halloween. So I also love like personifications of holidays. I mean, one of my favorite movies growing up was The Nightmare Before Christmas. So like, I mean, The Nightmare Before Christmas is obviously kind of like a play on that, and I just love it. I love the idea of like two kind of rivals from different holidays and what happens. I'm excited to read it. All right, next I have another Danmai, and that is Ballad of Sword and Wine, Volume 1. Honestly don't really know much about this one other than that it's like rivals. Yeah, two like rival princes or something, and like, I don't know, their families hate each other, people died, whatever, and they kind of have to deal with that. I will say I'm someone who like doesn't fully read synopsis of books. Like, I just kind of read a little bit, get the vibes, and go with that. So I don't really know what a lot of these books are about. Just the general vibe and idea of them. Yeah. Okay, moving on. I have volume 2 of How My Daddies Became Mates. I read the first volume, I think, a couple months ago, and it was really fun. I don't know, like, I don't even know what this is, but it's kind of cute. It's like these two dads explaining to their kid how they met, but obviously giving the very like toned down version because she's I think she's a toddler. She's like 6 or something. But their meeting was not exactly great. So they're kind of doing the parent thing of telling the story, but not really telling the story. So I'm excited to see what volume 2 is all about. Yeah. Next, I have Tripping Over You by Susanna Harcum and Owena White. Again, I don't really know what this is about. I know it's like a queer school love story, and that's kind of it. I mean, the art is really pretty. It was just one of those ones that I kind of saw while browsing my library, their website, and it just looked cute. So I also don't tend to buy a lot of graphic novels and manga because they're just expensive for something that I can read really quickly. So I love just grabbing a bunch from the library, even if I don't really know what they're about. All right. Next, I have Once Was Willem by M.R. Carey. And this is one that I've been kind of in the Halloween, like horror, scary vibes lately. I mean, I haven't read any horror yet, but I've been wanting something kind of dark and more like folklore creepy. And I saw this one on the website and it just looked really interesting. Like, I'm pretty sure it's kind of like some creature is created and he's, ousted from the community and lives in the forest. And, it's like that like kind of folk horror, you know, like twisted folklore kind of story. I don't even really know what it's about. It just the vibes sounded like something I would like, and yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's just giving what I was looking for. Yeah. The little blurb here says a wild fever dream, monstrous and beautiful. That's kind of what I'm after. All right, this next one is Another Fine Mess by Lindy Ryan. And again, I don't really know what it's about, other than it's like a family who are undertakers and they like keep the undead from rising and taking over the city or something like that. And it's like, I don't know, vampires, werewolves. It's based in Southeast Texas. I'm not even really sure what it's about, other than it's like horror and funny, and I don't know. Like, the line that kind of got me was like, making sure dead things stay buried is the family business. And like, I have no idea what that means, but I'm really excited to find out because it sounds so like it could be really dark, but also funny at the same time. I don't know. I'm excited. The next one I have is Whisperwells, The Legend of the Whisper Woods, which is a indie book by Allie Woods. This one is also one that sounded really intriguing to me, and the like first paragraph or first couple of sentences are basically too much of a shifter for the people of Whisperwells, too human for his great grandfather's pack. So it's like a werewolf or some sort of in between creature, and like what happens, making new friends. Yeah, I don't know. It's just ancient magic lies hidden within the Whisper Woods. That's kind of all I need to know. Something dark, something twisted. Next, I have volumes 2 and 3 of Delicious in Dungeon. I read volume 1 a while ago, but it was right around when the anime came out and like everybody was obsessed with it. So the volumes had like huge, long hold lists and like everybody was reading them. So I couldn't, like, I read the first volume, but then just didn't get a chance to read the rest. So I got volume 2 and 3. I really liked volume 1. It was fun. It was kind of silly. I love the idea of like cooking the monsters that you find in a dungeon. Like I love like D&D podcasts and stuff, and like things like Dropout and like D&D live play shows. So the idea of kind of mixing kind of a dungeon crawler esque vibe into cooking is really fun. Like I really enjoyed the first volume. I haven't watched the anime, um, but I'm excited to see where the story goes. Next, I have a non-comprehensive guide to sea serpents by AJ Sherwood, which also is, I believe, looks indie. I think it's an indie book that my library had. This one I actually found. I was just kind of browsing the library when I was there one day and saw this one, and the back seemed really interesting. But it's basically about a sorcerer who like takes on a job, and despite himself ends up having these two preteen apprentices like join him, and then now gets hired to deal with another job on the Isle of Man, and like is dealing with these kids who are his apprentices, but also dealing with the guy who hires him and like trying to solve whatever the case is. And I'm assuming there's sea serpents involved. Yeah, that's very, I don't know, it looks like fun and magical. Yeah, I just thought I'd give it a shot. It seemed like it'd be up my alley. Okay, the next one I have is one I'm very excited about, and it's The Disabled Tyrant's Beloved Pet Fish, Volume 2. I read Volume 1 a couple months ago and I loved it. Like, it's just so funny and interesting and cute. Basically, it's another transmigration Danmai, and it's about Li Yu, who gets like teleported, transmigrated into this story, but as a fish. And he has like the whole kind of video game esque system that's like you need to complete these missions and do these things, and if you complete this mission you get a reward and you can turn into a human for 2 hours and whatever. And he has to basically get this like villainous kind of prince to be a better person. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about it. Like, it's so weird to explain it, but something about volume 1 just like had me captivated and like so interested, and I needed to know what was going to happen next. So I'm really excited to read volume 2 and see where they go, what happens, because they're so adorable and I love it. And the idea of a fish trying to complete missions in like a royal, palace is like so funny. All right, next one is a manga called Firefly Wedding, Volume 1. And I'm pretty sure this is just like, I think kind of like a mafia wedding situation. Oh, sorry, this one is actually about an assassin. There's an assassin, and I think she marries the assassin. Which, like, how does that work? I don't know, but I want to find out. um, yeah, I don't know. The cover was pretty. The idea of this woman who like is at the right age to get married, doesn't want to get married, then finds that she's going to be assassinated, then proposes to the assassin. Like, that's so out there, and I'm so interested. Next, I have volumes 2 and 3 of I Want to Be a Wall, and this follows an aro ace woman and a gay man who get married, and how like they got married kind of as like I guess essentially like a lavender marriage, or just to like avoid having to deal with people's opinions of them and their decisions. So they, come to an agreement. They're friends. They get married and move in together. And it's just them like navigating their lives together and figuring out how to talk to people, because obviously they, don't have the love story that everybody asks about. So they have to figure out, like, what do we tell people? How do we, navigate being a couple when we're not really a couple? Like, how do we do things, but then also learning to like live together and, you know, cook together, and who does what chores and how do they split the workload and all of that stuff. It was volume 1 was really sweet. So I'm excited to read the next 2. Next one is This Place Kills Me. It's a graphic novel. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's a graphic novel. This is one that I really didn't know anything about, to be honest. Like, the cover just got me. Basically, it looks like it's an academy, like an exclusive academy. There's it's a Shakespeare performance. Then someone's found dead. So interesting. I'm here for it. See what happens. Yeah, I don't know. The cover kind of just got me. Like, I saw it when it was on order and I was like, that's gorgeous. I need to read it. And then last one is I picked up Basic Japanese. Learn to speak Japanese in 10 easy lessons. One of my goals, that's a very long-term goal because I'm not great with consistency and have struggled with languages in the past, is to slowly learn Japanese. So I thought I would check this out and just see, like, I don't know if I'm going to use it solely, like, as the only thing I use, because I do have some other Japanese resources, and like I watch Japanese YouTube content and listen to Japanese podcasts and J-pop and all that kind of stuff too. But I just thought it would be nice to have a book that's designed to be user-friendly for beginners and kind of see, what are things I should be focusing on? Is there vocabulary that I could be like adding into my practice, like things that this book talks about, rather than kind of just trying to make a lesson plan for myself on my own, get a little bit of a general idea of what this book recommends. I know there's tons of Japanese books out there, Japanese resources to learn. Yeah, it's a very slow, very long-term goal that I'd like to learn Japanese eventually. So I thought it'd be fun. This also comes with a CD, which is cool. So yeah, that was my library haul. I'm sorry I didn't give like major in-depth synopsis of every single book, but like I said, I don't really know what a lot of them are about in depth, because I just go on vibes and a few sentences. I don't like to be spoiled, because I know sometimes a synopsis can spoil parts of the book. I just like to go in hoping for the best and taking vibes into account. Yeah. So I should have another video eventually. Thanks for watching, and subscribe if you like my content. I'll probably have more library hauls in the future, because I get a lot of my books from the library, especially manga and Danmai. Yeah, thanks so much for watching.